Like Marjorie, I was obsessed with dishes. But I can't just buy 10. I need to have 50 or 60. So I really am a crazy person with the dishes because I believe that when you entertain, you shouldn't have to rent anything. So I have quite the stash of dishes. I've turned every coat closet into a dish closet. We have no more coats in the house. In the winter, you have to take your coat with you to bed because there's no coat closets. They're all dish closets and napkin closets and linen closets. We did a benefit at home. It wasn't a benefit, but we did a show house for ARF, which is a very important charity to me. It's the Animal Rescue Fund of the Hamptons, and it's a no-kill shelter that really saves these amazing animals. And as you can see in the picture, we're such animal people. And then just my heart goes out because I think the way my dog lives, and then there are so many poor angels who just don't live the way, there are people who don't live the way my dog lives, really, but I mean, it's the animals that just break my heart, these helpless, beautiful little angels. So we did a dinner for ARF at home, and I took out all the sunroom furniture, I take out all the dining room furniture, and I take out the entrance hall skirted table, and we can seat 60 people in the house. And then drinks and cocktails are outside, or if the weather isn't good, we do drinks in the living room and the TV room. And this is my dear friend, who's the chairwoman of the board of ARF, Lisa McCarthy, and I, sort of going over the seating. And we were friends first, and then Lisa asked me onto the board. And it's so worthwhile and such a wonderful thing that I'm doing, helping those animals, and it's a great place. ARF is amazing. But we then decided we had such a good time working together on ARF, we would start a business of our own. So we started a tabletop business called Everyday Elegance. The candlesticks I bought at Christie's in Paris, and the cash pose, it's very hard to find a lot of cash pose. So I had them made for me by De Gournay in blue and white, and they just have this beautiful program where they make these beautiful cash pose, and they can do them in any color you want. The hurricanes, again, if you go to Paris, my favorite home store in the world, oddly enough, is Christian Dior. So there's this wonderful lady, Doris Brenner, who was Yul Brenner's widow, who started the store, and it is in Christian Dior, and it's just divinely chic. So those hurricanes I order from Dior in Paris. You know, I am a little bit of a shopaholic, so everywhere I go I shop, but these are from Paris. So here's two versions of place settings. Again, you know, I've used fruit on the table and nuts, and then I've taken these wonderful Christopher Spitzmiller gourds that normally sit on the mantle and brought them onto the table. So my sister always says to me, you know, what can I buy my husband? You know, husbands don't really like things that much. They just don't care. They're not that interested. I mean, it depends on what kind of husband, but in general, most husbands are just, you know, they're like guys and they're not that interested in stuff. But, you know, she always wants to buy him something, and he loves beer. So I said, you know what, I have a wonderful idea. Silver has a great value right now. Let's start collecting 18th century beer tankards. So she said, Al, what a brilliant idea. So on the table is one of them. And so we built him this incredible collection. I think if he opens one more tankard, he's going to be like, are you people kidding me? Here is Lisa helping to set the table for Everyday Elegance in our breakfast room. And two different settings. You see the way I mix all different sets. This is the way my breakfast looks in the morning, and I'm sifting through auction catalog, and I really believe that you use all your good things. You know, everything in our house is beautiful. Use your silver. What are we waiting for, you know? For what? Your kids aren't going to want it, and you have to convince them to want it and use it in a fresh way. You have to enjoy your things. Use your things and really have fun with them, and be creative and mix it up. As you see here, we've mixed it up a little bit. You know, I found these wonderful modern sort of splat placemats at the gift show that we sell on Everyday Elegance, and I've mixed it with Tory Burch's white version of the Dodi Thayer china. I've always loved that Dodi Thayer, but I've just never wanted that apple green. So she did it in white, and I thought it was so much fun. The apple, again, is by the people that I love, the Lalandes, Claude and Xavier Lalande. And I went to an exhibit at at a wonderful gallery downtown called Paul Kasman that represents Lalande, and I saw this apple. Well, my sister's husband's father was really a great man in New York, a man by the name of Lou Rudin, and he was somebody who when New York was in a great deal of trouble, he got behind the city with a whole group of real estate and businessmen. Felix Rohatyn was one of them. And they saved New York out of bankruptcy by paying their taxes in advance. And what they did around this was they created a campaign for I Love New York and sort of bringing New York back. And one of the things was this symbol they called New York the Big Apple. So my sister and brother-in-law collect anything with apples. So again, I called my sister. I said, honey, did I see a gift for your husband? It's amazing. She said, oh my God, you're a genius. So we bought this huge 9-foot apple, and it's set in our garden amongst these trees that we planted. And it's amazing because it's kind of almost like something out of the Jolly Green Giant. This big apple fell from these trees. Again, sort of surreal, and it's this beautiful, beautiful sculpture. So again, 2 sides of the pool with the fence, the table set for 4th of July, all blue and white. There's pictures, these are pictures that I took myself. I'm obsessed with Instagram, and I love taking pictures. 2 of my different table settings. So I use those tables outside as well, as you can see. In the garden on a summer night, I use those tables, the skeleton tables with the ballroom chairs. And there's a different shaped aptware plate. There's some wonderful plates made by, again, by my great friend Christopher Spitz-Miller, set up by the Pool House. And this is my dear friend David Mon. So David Mon and my partner in business in Everyday Elegance, Lisa McCarthy. So Lisa McCarthy's on the board of ARF. She invites me to an ARF dinner before I had joined the board. So I get to the dinner, and it's a white tent. It's sort of gravel on the floor, sort of heavy burlap tablecloths, and dog biscuits in the center of the table. So I didn't say a word. I said, what a wonderful cause. I love ARF. It's a great charity. But, this is the Hamptons, and people don't want to go out on a Saturday night to a charity unless it's magical. So I called Lisa, and I said, Lisa, we can't make people go out on a Saturday night unless it's divine. So I called my friend David Mon, who's another big animal lover, and we all got together, and we make these magical parties, and we decorate the tent and do these wonderful tables and these fun tablecloths. And there's David at this year's event right before it starts, holding my dog Teddy, who goes everywhere. He's here tonight. He goes everywhere because he's got an opinion on everything. So he likes to go and see it all. And he loves Washington, by the way, and Hillwood. He was very impressed that the museums in Washington let him in. He was thrilled. This is a table that I did for the Lenox Hill Neighborhood Association, and I'm in collaboration with Gracie. I'm the first designer to work with Gracie. I'm going to design some papers and some fabrics for them. Gracie's a wonderful company that makes really beautiful wallpapers, and they were one of the original dealers who dealt in wallpapers for all the great decorators, Elsa DeWolf and Siri Mon. So they made this beautiful tablecloth for me in red, white, and blue. And Lisa and I did it for Everyday Elegance for the Lenox Hill Neighborhood Society. Here is one of our table settings from Everyday Elegance, sort of something young and fresh and very current. We custom made the napkins and put it all together with beautiful flowers from my favorite florist in New York, Zeze. And here's me and my partner in our new business, Everyday Elegance, which is our table setting business. And here is my Hillwood table. So we go sort of full circle, back to the leopard and the Vladimir flowers and the table, the place cards and sort of everything that I love, I always try to incorporate. The screen was hand-painted by Gracie for me, and the chair fabric on the chairs was also hand-painted for me by Gracie. The chairs were my mother's dining room chairs from her Southampton house, and the carpet, the silk carpet, is from Beauvais. But I have a very strong kinship with Marjorie. Even though I never knew her, I feel very close to her because we had so many things that we both loved. We love hospitality and entertaining. We loved having guests. We love having parties. We love our dishes. We love our dogs. So for me to be at Hillwood, it just feels very special. And I'm sure if I knew her, I would have been obsessed with her. She just seems like such a great lady, and it's really a great place. Hillwood is an amazing museum. So you're lucky to have it in your town. Enjoy it, and I'll keep coming back to see Hillwood. And thank you.